Cell, structure and functions. You have already learned that things around us are either living or non-living. Further, you may recall that all living organisms carry out certain basic functions. Can you list these functions? Different sets of organs perform the various functions you have listed. In this chapter, you shall learn about the basic structural unit of an organ, which is the cell. Cells may be compared to bricks. Bricks are assembled to make a building. Similarly, cells are assembled to make the body of every organism. 8. 1. Discovery of the cell. Robert Hooke in 1665 observed slices of cork under a simple magnifying device. Cork is a part of the bark of a tree. He took thin slices of cork and observed them under a microscope. He noticed partitioned boxes or compartments in the cork slice. Fig. 8.1. These boxes appeared like a honeycomb. He also noticed that one box was separated from the other by a wall or partition. Hooke coined the term cell for each box. What Hooke observed as boxes or cells in the cork were actually dead cells. Cells of living organisms could be observed only after the discovery of improved microscopes. Very little was known about the cell for the next 150 years after Robert Hooke's observations. Today, we know a lot about cell structure and its functions because of improved microscopes having high magnification. 8. 2. The cell. Both bricks in a building and cells in the living organisms are basic structural units. Fig. 8. 2a, b. The buildings, though built of similar bricks, have different designs, shapes and sizes. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another but all are made up of cells. Cells in the living organisms are complex living structures unlike non-living bricks. Fig. 8. 1. Cork cells is observed by Robert Hooke. A hen's egg can be seen easily. Is it a cell or a group of cells? 2020-21. A. Brick wall. B. Onion peel. Fig. 8. 2. Brick wall and onion peel. The egg of a hen represents a single cell and is big enough to be seen by the unaided eye. 8. 3 organisms show variety in cell number, shape and size. How do scientists observe and study the living cells? They use microscopes which magnify objects. Stains dyes are used to color parts of the cell to study the detailed structure. There are millions of living organisms. They are of different shapes and sizes. Their organs also vary in shape, size and number of cells. Let us study about some of them. Number of cells. Can you guess the number of cells in a tall tree or in a huge animal like the elephant? The number runs into billions and trillions. Human body has trillions of cells which vary in shapes and sizes. Different groups of cells perform a variety of functions. A billion is 1,000 million. A trillion is 1,000 billion. Cell, structure and functions. Fig. 8. 3a. Amoeba. B. Paramecium. A. B. 91. Organisms made of more than one cell are called multicellular, many, cellular, cell organisms. The number of cells being less in smaller organisms does not, in any way, affect the functioning of the organisms. You will be surprised to know that an organism with billions of cells begins life as a single cell, which is the fertilized egg. The fertilized egg cell multiplies and the number of cells increase as development proceeds. Look at Fig. 8. 3a and b. Both organisms are made up of a single cell. The single-celled organisms are called unicellular, cellular, cell 2020-21. Organisms. A single-celled organism performs all the necessary functions that multicellular organisms perform. A single-celled organism, like amoeba, captures and digests food, respires, excretes, grows and reproduces. Similar functions in multicellular organisms are carried out by groups of specialized cells forming different tissues. Tissues, in turn, form organs. Activity 8. 1. The teacher may show a permanent slide of amoeba and paramecium under a microscope. Alternatively, the teacher can collect pond water and show these organisms by preparing the slides. Shape of cells. Refer to Fig. 8. 3a. How do you define the shape of amoeba in the figure? You may say that the shape appears irregular. In fact, amoeba has no definite shape, unlike other organisms. It keeps on changing its shape. Observe the projections of varying lengths protruding out of its body. These are called pseudopodia, false, podia, feet, as you learnt in class 7. These projections appear and disappear as amoeba moves or feeds. The change in shape is due to formation of pseudopodia which facilitates movement and help in capturing food. A white blood cell, WBC, in human blood is another example of a single cell which can change its shape. But while WBC is a cell, amoeba is a full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. What shape would you expect in organisms with millions of cells? Fig. 8. 4a, b, c, shows different cells such as blood, muscle and nerve of human beings. The different shapes are related to their specific functions. Generally, cells are round, spherical or elongated. Fig. 8. 4a. Some cells are long and pointed at both ends. They exhibit a spindle shape. Fig. 8.4b. Cells sometimes are quite long. Some are branched like the nerve cell or a neuron. Fig. 8. 4c. The nerve cell receives and transfers messages, thereby A, C, B. What advantage does amoeba derive by changing shape? 92. Fig. 8. 4a. Spherical red blood cells of humans. B. Spindle-shaped muscle cells. C. Long branched nerve cell. Science 20